So yesterday I went over the hybrid trading model with you, and I actually showed it to you in action. And this is the final result. I had a partial close of $328, and then eventually my trailing stop got triggered at an additional $40, giving me a total of $368 for the day using the hybrid model, which, as I have now explained, auto adjusts to just about everything there is in the market that needs to be considered for potential profits or greater profits at least. That's it. I said yesterday that I was going to go over the guts of this hybrid model. I'm not going to go too much in depth. I have actually created a booklet you can download. The link is in the description box below. That goes in great detail of what everything is, what it means, what it's used for, why we use specific parameters, and why we use ATR. For example, why we have our slippage with a buffer zone. Very simple. It reduces the slippage by a small fraction, 0.95. So basically turning this into 2.95 really. And that is to prevent when you do entries from being rejected. This is particularly the case during a high volatility and the markets are moving very rapidly, for example, because of recent news break or something. This makes sure that your entry gets accepted. We have now also added maximum lot size. You can't go over that number. By the way, all the parameters in here are user settings, so these are the defaults. The smallest lot size you can trade. You can use a fixed lot if you don't want to use a dynamic lot size. We have also about spreads. We got actually filter factors for high spreads. What is the maximum spread that you're willing to take before the filter factor kicks in? What are the risk reduction factors? Maximum drawdown of 10%, which means during any specific position, if I lose 10% or more of my account balance, then automatically the trade stops and the trade even gets closed out. So I have my risk reward setting here. Again, same thing. You can use a fixed ratio stop loss for your risk reward. You don't have to use a risk reward. You set it to 0. And trailing stop, same thing. Trailing stop is a little different. That we calculated based on ATR factor, the average true range. Average true range is a very common indicator used by many hedge fund companies, financial institutions, professional traders, that determines the true range of price over a specific period of time. It doesn't specify the direction, it just tells you the range of price from the highest to the lowest over a specific period of time. You can use a fixed trailing stop if you like to use that, and we also have a fixed dollar amount that you can put in if you want to do that. And there's even the opportunity here to start the trailing stop a little later. In the booklet, I explain why this is very important. It's a risk management feature that will automatically prevent the trailing stop from getting activated as soon as an entry is made. It will only activate once a certain level or a certain amount of money has been reached in profits, and only then will the trailing stop kick in. This will give breathing room in case the market retraces and you don't get stumped out. Here we have partial profit. You saw that in action yesterday. We have position entry also included in here, which is that it will literally warn you when you get to a support or resistance level. For example, right around here, this would be, let me draw a line right here. If price were to come, oops, If price were to come right here, or price were to come right here, and even though everything is set go here, as well as here, this way, um, you would get a notice being told that you're too close to support or you're too close to resistance. This is not the time to enter a trade, even though all conditions have been met, because it may just retrace. In that case, you would have to wait for a breakout. Then, of course, you have different trading methods. You can use them all together or you can use them individually. And then, of course, the MA setups you have as well, which is the fast moving average, the slow moving average. And now we come to a concept that may be completely new to you, but is always part of a hybrid trading routine or a hybrid trading model, and that is the slope. What is slope? Slope determines as part of the trend the curvatures of the MAs, but also the movement of price. And combined with ADX and ATR, it gives a much better view of where we are trend-wise. So all these specific parameters that are being used to calculate the slope are explained in the booklet, so I highly recommend you download it. Then we have, of course, the CCI configuration. We also have the CCI zones are being adjusted dynamically using a volatility filter. So this is when you see here the CCI zone automatically adapting to market conditions. And then we have ADX configurations. ADX is merely a trend strength indicator. You could actually load the ADX indicator on your chart. It comes default with every trading platform out there, and you would see exactly what these settings are. 14 is the period number of days, 25 is the level that we consider that it must be at for to be considered even a moderate trend. Anything below 25 would be considered a weak trend. And again, you could physically install the ADX on your chart and you would see that visually in action. So hybrid model doesn't need to have that on the chart. Also, the ATR is not needed on the chart. It would make everything just too cluttered. So then there are the setups for the other trading routine strategies that are included. If you want to, there's an opportunity to draw trend lines, support and resistance lines. And finally, the only thing left is basic configuration for how you have the color scheme of your menu options here. And finally, last but not least, you can choose whether you want the MAs updated every tick or on every new bar. Usually preferred is on every new bar for twofold reasons. One, there is no need to have every tick. We're not scalpers. We are in this at least for a day, if not long term. So we don't need to be checking every tick what is going on here. So number two is that it uses less computer power. While today's computers can easily handle that, every little bit helps and it speeds up the system. Then you have where you would like the arrows to appear distance-wise from price. When there is an entry signal, do you want to use pair presets? If that is true, this button will say on, otherwise this button will be off, and you will use the default score with the default settings, which are all the settings in here, over here, and all of this right here will be adjusted according to the default settings. So then finally you have display alerts. If you were to set that to no, you would not see any messages. The computer would the system would just trade and do analysis and give you feedback and whatnot, but without visually displaying any messages. So that is in a nutshell. Like I said, I'm not going to go too much in detail because I'll just overwhelm you. But I do suggest that you download the booklet and then you get a really thorough understanding of what all this means. In the next video, we're going to put it all together. I'll see you then. Take care. And as always, God bless.